Hey guys, my name is Haley and today I'm going to be filming a video that I've been wanting to film since October and that is a Doctor Who haul. So I got back into Doctor Who in October when I decided to rewatch and binge the whole New Who series, so from Doctor 9 all the way to Doctor 13. And I have been a fan of the show probably since like 2010, 2011. Like I got into it pretty early on in Matt Smith's era, and it had been 3 years since I had watched it. So I had seen everything all the way up to Doctor 13 before I did my rewatch. And I was obsessed with it. I've always said it's my favorite show of all time, and that 100% held up when I did a rewatch. And so I went down a rabbit hole of merch and like books, as you can see, as I'm about to empty this shelf doing a haul. And I just bought a ton of things because I was in like, number one, a bad mental health space, but rewatching my favorite show definitely helped. Number two, really was not going out anywhere very much at all, like barely even church and other places because the pandemic was so bad and Ohio is not the best at handling it. So I did a lot of retail therapy, I guess you could say. So I got like a bunch of shirts. I got some stuff for Christmas. I bought a bunch of books because that was the only way I was going to be reading things in October, was if they were Doctor Who related, because I did not care about anything else for like a solid month and a half there. So I'm just going to show you everything that I have acquired. And we're just going to jump right on into that because it's a lot of stuff. I think we'll start with clothes because I'm not looking forward to dismantling all of this. So I've always wanted to buy things from Redbubble, so I started there. And I got a sweatshirt that has a David Tennant in a pocket. And it's the softest sweatshirt I think that I own. So this has been worn many, many times. And if it's not obvious, the more I get into this, David Tennant is my favorite Doctor. But also I am biased because David Tennant is probably my favorite actor in anything ever of all time. So it's not fair to the other Doctors, to be honest. And then on top of David being my favorite Doctor, my favorite companion is Rose, with a very close second being Clara. So we have a Bad Wolf TARDIS sweatshirt that is also the softest thing that I probably own, and I wear this to work all the time. That is also from Redbubble. And then there's a company called TeePublic, which is honestly almost the exact same thing as Redbubble in my opinion, but more leans towards clothes than like other items for memorabilia. And so I have the saddest quote in Doctor Who history, if you've seen Doomsday, and that is, "I'm burning up a sun to say goodbye." And I bought this because, number one, I love the navy and the orange colors, and I love this design. I love everything about it. So on top of it being the saddest quote ever, I adore this color scheme. And then because I was buying too many navy things, we went for a purple one that is also a Bad Wolf and TARDIS. I also honestly, full disclosure, bought purple because it's the girl that I nanny's favorite color. So I was like, if we're gonna keep buying Doctor Who stuff, we might as well wear stuff to work that the kid will enjoy. And then last of the clothing items, I was like, okay, I keep buying Ten and Rose things. I need to buy something that is by my second favorite ship, I guess you could say. They're not really a ship, they kind of are. They're best friends. And that is the Doctor and Clara. So this is "Run, you clever boy, and remember," which is one of Clara's first quotes that becomes a whole thing in her first season with Matt Smith. And then during my rabbit hole of Redbubble and TeePublic, I was like, you know, I really want to decorate my laptop, and I've never done that before. So I went to town on buying stickers, and not all of them are Doctor Who. I'm just gonna be straight up. I'm gonna show you my laptop. So these are all the ones that I got. We have an 11 in Clara, we have 12 in Clara, and then we have some K-pop stuff. We have like Infinite, we have Astro, we have another Astro that I've had forever. We've had these two Rocky things that I've had forever that Kate got me. And then we have another "I'm burning up a sun to say goodbye." We have a 10 in Rose because OTP. And then we have a Bad Wolf sticker. We have a 9 Rose and Jack sticker, which I love. And then a David Tennant Galaxy, and then we have a David Diggs from Hamilton. And then we have a quote from Rent, which is my favorite musical from the song Seasons of Love. So this is what my laptop has been looking like for the last 3 months, and I'm obsessed with it, and now I have a good reason to just stare at it sometimes. And then very quickly, I just talked about this in my And then very quickly, I just talked about this in my What I Got for Christmas, but I got seasons 1 through 12 of Doctor Who on DVD because I'm terrified that they're going to take them off of HBO Max, which is how I rewatched them, because it has been taken off of like every streaming service that I tried to watch it on originally. And that's why I wasn't able to watch it for so many years, so I'm terrified that's going to happen again. So I needed these. And then for things I do not own physically, I have started to get into the Big Finish audiobook productions. So I bought this one based on somebody's recommendation on Instagram, actually, because they reference Rose in it. So this is David Tennant and a previous incarnation of the Doctor, which I listened to and really liked. And then I also pre-ordered the Time Lord Victorious book, which for some reason just barely shipped, even though I pre-ordered it in probably like October. And it came out in the UK at that time, but it has not made it to the US yet. So I have the first Time Lord Victorious book on pre-order, and it's supposed to come in the next few weeks. And then also, I'll start with the ones that I have not read yet. And that is the Lost Dimension of the 4 incarnations of the Doctor in graphic novel form. And then we have 3 of David's. That's like the continuation of where he left off with Gabby in the compendium bind-ups, which we'll get to next. And at this point I'm just going to start pulling things off because it's going to be a mess and a disaster no matter what I do. So we have my Rose, The Lost Dimension audiobook, which I'm still so excited to listen to, and I'm kind of like waiting and like gonna savor it until I get through Martha and Donna's books and then read this in the order that it would have shown up in the show. And then the only like collector's items, I guess you could call, that whatever we're calling them, that I've gotten are the 10th Doctor's sonic screwdriver, because obviously David is my Doctor. It is also a pen, but I mostly want it because sonic screwdriver. And also the Journal of Impossible Things, which is teeny tiny, and I probably paid slightly too much for it on eBay, but like there is a drawing in here of Rose that I love, and it's the cutest little journal. And this is when David was acting as a human, and he was drawing his pictures. I keep calling him David, when the Doctor was human for a short period of time. And it has all of the illustrations of the things he was dreaming about from his other life. It has drawings of his previous incarnations. And then I specifically bought it because of the drawing of Rose that makes me want to cry. I feel like I'm doing a flip through of a K-pop album right now, but it's just Doctor Who and it's a very weird experience. But yeah, no. It's mostly full of just a bunch of drawings. That are honestly beautiful, even though this thing is absolutely tiny. And I'm obsessed with it. Did I need it? No. Did I buy it? Yes, because I have issues, especially at the time period that I was like in the Doctor Who hole. And so yeah, these live on top of all of my Doctor Who books over here on the shelf, which we're gonna get into next. I've owned this tiny little TARDIS forever. I think it was like on a pencil or something from probably Hot Topic, because that was the only place that had stuff like this back when I was in it in 2010. So I owned a tiny little TARDIS. These are so heavy. Why did I do this? So I own all 3 compendiums of David, Matt, and Capaldi, and these are too heavy and I'm gonna set them down before I drop them and like hurt myself. And then I actually owned a comic, probably from like Books A Million or a Hot Topic or something, of the 3 Doctors from years ago. Then I have the rest of the continuation of David's books from his compendium. I don't know if I'm going to get all of the graphic novels for each continuation, like for both Matt and Capaldi's. I might at some point, but it's not top priority. David just made sense to me because he is my favorite Doctor, so that was my logic here. And then I own all of Rose's, woo, I'm gonna drop them everywhere. I own all of the novelizations with Rose, including one of the quick reads, which I read in December, of I Am a Dalek. And I have actually already read all of these ones, so that's an accomplishment. And then last but not least, I own Beautiful Chaos, which I think was actually the first of the books that I bought, and it's simply because this is David Tennant's doctor with Wilfred. Wilfred is the companion that always should have been and never was, and I'm sad about it. And he's in my favorite episodes, which is The End of Time with Wilfred and the Master, and it's David's last episodes. And they make me want to sob, so I love Wilfred with my entire heart, and that is why I bought this one. Also, I love these, like, editions. And then most recently, I have bought all of Clara's incarnations. So we have the one that exists of her and Matt's doctor, and then we own the 3 with Capaldi. We have Deep Time, Royal Blood, and The Crawling Terror. I'm actually very upset that there aren't more Clara books, so I might have to look into like Big Finish audios or some sort of audiobook adventures that I'm sure exist to have more of specifically her and Matt, because there's only one, but also of her and Capaldi because I love them. But yeah, that is my Doctor Who haul. I am not about to try and hold any of these things up. It would be a disaster. Those are all of the things related to Doctor Who that I have bought in the last 3.5 months. Will I buy more? Probably. Am I gonna try to listen to all of the books on audio before buying them? Yes, otherwise I would have like 50 of them here and end up not liking all of them. So there's 2 of Nine in Rose's adventures that I have listened to on audio and really like that I'm probably going to buy eventually. But from here on out, when it comes to the books, I'm going to try to listen to the audios first, pick my favorites, and then buy those to add to the collection. But Rose and Clara, I just like went for it, assuming I would love them because I love them as companions. But yeah, that is all of my Doctor Who stuff that I own. Thank you all for watching. If you like Doctor Who, please tell me who your favorite Doctor and companion is in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you guys next time.